Good morning. It is 6:43 a.m. on Tuesday, June 11th, 2019. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So, I was going to talk about something, and then I got suddenly distracted by realizing that something I've thought about a little bit or noticed recently is that I have increasingly over time allowed myself to have my voice slip more into the vocal fry sort of thing where I'm talking like this just a little bit, not a lot and not deliberately, but certainly something I'm not doing on purpose and wouldn't choose to deliberately. So I'm trying to focus on it a little bit. I wonder if, some of it might just be vocal patterns shifting over time, but it could also be partly just, the patterns of mucus in your throat does stuff. That's the technical term. But, feeling like I need to clear my throat is certainly part of it. And some of that might just be down to like allergies. I don't know. I don't even really, off the top of my head, know if this is something that's been happening over a long period of time or if I just recently noticed it because it's happening recently because of allergies, which I am definitely having. Oh, thank you for the people who expressed sympathy about migraine yesterday. I sometimes feel weird about even mentioning them just because I know that some people get migraines really, really bad that just totally knock them out of commission. And I definitely, my migraines are not like that. So it's a question of like, do they feel bad enough to complain about? Anyway, I'm feeling better today. So thank you, though, for those who expressed sympathy. I was thinking a little bit, though, as I was still yesterday in the evening feeling a little bit worn down from kind of pushing through, and not bad, but just low energy. And so I was trying to decide between catching up on some TV shows or rewatching an old movie. Because I rewatched The Matrix just recently and really enjoyed that. It was a movie that I didn't need really to be reminded that I liked or that it was good, but I hadn't seen it recently. And it turns out there's actually a lot of stuff that I hadn't really remembered, and it was a pleasure to be reminded of. And then also but just then there's also the idea of, do you just relive the things that you already know you like, or do you keep seeking out new things? And in the end, last night, I chose to catch up on watching What We Do in the Shadows, the TV version, and Archer. And that's what I ended up doing. And even that, though, is a little bit of a blend between nostalgia and novelty because it's a new episode that I haven't seen already, but it's also a show that I know I like already. So I think that so much of our lives are dictated by these competing drives of nostalgia, aka familiarity, predictability versus novelty. And I think that explains a lot of complex behavior when you can kind of look at it in the terms of the push and pull between those two competing drives. Because we're always feeling it's not a light switch, right? We're not switching back and forth between what we want it is both things active, but just tends to be one dominant over the other at any given moment. You know, if you're watching a tug of war and all you're doing is watching a very narrow piece of the center of the rope, you know, you'll see it, you know, all be one side or all be the other side, but in reality, both drives are still pushing. And we have this desire for predictability because we like to feel smart and safe and like what we know what's going to happen, and you know, a reminder of like, oh yes, I like this. This is safe. This protects me. This doesn't challenge me. It's easy. But then that can also start to feel boring and stifling. And if you don't have other choices, that can be really frustrating. Whereas, you know, novelties, new, exciting, discovery. Okay. You guys know this stuff. This is not me being profound. But it was something I was thinking about last night, because I did, after catching up on those TV shows, jump back into, I've been gradually replaying the Uncharted series of video games, and that's definitely nostalgia. I know I like those games, but I have played them not even just once before. So I was in more of a nostalgia mood, except that I wasn't. I don't know. I have no actual interesting conclusions about this, except it was just something I was thinking about. And I definitely still have the post-nasal drip or whatever in my throat that's making me talk like this. Need to take some Mucinex. All right, I'm going to go ahead and leave it here for today, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.